Alright, what is up everyone? It's very late, at night right now, but I just wanted to, like, make just, like, a New Year's video, of just, like, all of these, like, games that I've played over the past, like, year in 2022, because there's quite a bit. I played quite a bit of games, and a lot of them were really good, so I figured I could, make this video as something like a New Year's video, or, like, I don't know, just for fun. Um, so we're gonna be just ranking all the games I've played this year. I have all these I have these like this like notepad full of just full of like a small like blurb that I wrote about the game. Um, this is gonna probably take a bit, but so first off, so RE3, the RE3 remake. Um, Honestly, compared to the RE2 remake, it feels very wrong. They definitely cut out a lot from the original game. And you can kind of tell that it's kind of was made by like a B team. And not like the main Resident Evil team, because they were probably too busy on the main Resident Evil games. But still, like, this just feels kind of shoddily put together. The game is insanely shortened. I had fun with it, but yeah, it's just not. It's really not like that. You could, like I said, you can tell that they could just cut a lot. It's really short. I finished it in like one stream or something like that. So the next one we have up is Sonic 1. Sonic 1. So this is definitely the worst out of the original 2D games. But like it's got a lot going for it. I had a lot of fun playing it. Just played Sonic Origins. I had a good time with it, but it's definitely like the worst out of all of them. I think I'd rate it like I think I put it in like the same tier as RE3, honestly. Metal Gear Rising. Oh no, this is one. So what I have written down here. The bosses like alone just carry this fucking game. I think the only issue is that for me the parts between the bosses did not do enough to actually hold my attention to make me want to actually play the fucking game. So I think I'll just end up putting this probably just an A, not quite S, but an A. The World Ends With You Final Remix. Oh, this is a series I've definitely gotten into this past year. So the characters are really, really good. Story is really good. OST is fucking phenomenal. I just didn't really like the gameplay that much, I guess. And some of like the general like missions that you do and like side quests that are not really a side quest, but like quests they use to kind of progress through the game and shit. It definitely feels kind of like annoying, and it's usually not fun to play. Honestly, if I'm gonna rate that above Metal Gear Rising, it's probably gonna be at the top of A tier by the time we're done with this. But I just have too much issues with the way that they handle the controls for this game. So first of all, they didn't really make a definitive way to control it, I guess. It's definitely better than it's definitely got a lot going for it over the original on the DS, just from what I've looked into. It just doesn't feel like it controls quite well. It feels like the core gameplay isn't bad, but it feels like the game was kind of designed around the pretense that it actually, you know, controlled well and like flowed well. Still a fucking phenomenal game. I recommend that you check out this series if you haven't. It's a really good series. It kind of flew under the radar too. Alright, Sonic Frontiers. Wow. This was a really big return for Sonic, especially after Forces. The movies have been really good. Origins wasn't the best that we could have gotten, but like still, it's still a fine way to play the originals. Frontiers. It really just felt like a breath of fresh air for the series. This year, just in general, I went on a huge Sonic stint. I've played a lot of Sonic games, ranging from like the ones that are considered bad, like Sonic and the Black Knight. Wait, shit! I just realized, did I forget to put Sonic and the Black Knight on this list? I knew I was forgetting something. So Frontiers. I think, yeah, I kind of got sidetracked there for a second, but I think I'd put it. This is a really hard one because I feel like I personally, there's like a few things holding it back, but I don't want to rank it higher than. I don't really want to rank it the highest in A. It might end up. Because I do think that 2E was definitely like the very tip of A. I think I might put it somewhere in between MDR and 2E there. Oh, Persona Q2. Okay, I have a lot to say about this one. Persona Q2. Q1 was fucking phenomenal. Q1 felt like it had a lot of character to it. It had a lot of really good moments. I actually almost cried. Like, actually, just straight up cried at the first game. And hearing a lot about Q2, I heard a lot about it before playing Q1. People were saying, like, Q1 sucks, or Q2 is way better than the first one. I don't think that's true. I think it had a lot of issues with the characters. Like, people cite like bastardization of the characters for like why the first game sucks. Like, they're kind of reduced to I don't know, like what stereotypically the character would be. Like, one character always talks about like meat and stuff, and another protein all the time. It felt like the only reason why it was better in the second game, they still talked about it a lot, but it felt like the only reason why it was better is because nobody got fucking screen time. I'm gonna be real. Nobody got time to develop in Persona Q2. And granted, it's just a silly little spin-off, but still, you have all of these characters mixing together. Some of them have similar backgrounds, or some of them can relate to each other in some way. But like, no one really got a chance to develop. The closest that we got was the Persona 3 female protagonist, who had this interesting character arc going on, but never really, it never finished. It never finished at all. They really did just cut that one short in like one scene, and it wasn't enough to fully realize that character, who was previously, in no other side games or anything. The only game that the female protagonist of Persona 3 gets is Persona 3 Portable and Persona Q2, and I don't think Persona Q2 did enough to make her. I wouldn't say that it didn't do enough to make her own character. She's definitely her own character. I will say that. But I feel like it didn't really do enough to make her it's not that, nah, I wouldn't say that she doesn't stand out either. It's kind of hard to put into words. She didn't really get time to develop as much as we see the male protagonist of Persona 3 develop. It feels like the kind of way that they were going with it, it was a really interesting arc that they were going for, but they just never finished it out. Why, I don't know. And even then, like, some of my favorite characters are just kind of like Yukari from Persona 3. It just feels like they're kind of an asshole. I'm gonna be real. They're not in the main game. Like, at the start, they're kind of an asshole, but at the point where they pulled the characters from in the story, there's absolutely no reason for them to be behaving, for Yukari to be behaving in the way that she does, because she's pulled from post-character arc, not pre-character arc. There's no reason for her to be so snarky all the time. It makes no sense. I'm gonna put that at C tier. I just had way too many issues. And honestly, like, just Q1 being so much better, it just makes me put it at C. It was just very average. Great Ace Attorney 2. Oh, that game's fucking phenomenal. Story, it took me for so many insane like twists and turns. It was great. Music, amazing. Characters, I really liked all the cast, especially the kind of like interesting depiction of Sherlock Holmes. Everything about it was really nice. It had a lot of good twists to it. It had a lot of turns. And I already really like Ace Attorney, so honestly, the only downside to it is that it's so fucking good that it makes the rest of the series look really bad. I'm gonna put this at S tier. It's just a fucking phenomenal. Okay. Next one, Dark Souls 3. What did I have written down about this one? I had a fucking blast playing this game. I played through it twice. There's a small amount of areas I heavily dislike, but overall the game is really good. It kept my, unlike Dark Souls is another series where the bosses are kind of like the main staple of it. That's kind of Souls games in general. But Dark Souls 3, unlike Metal Gear Rising, where it's like the same thing where the bosses kind of are the main bit of it. It did keep me actually, interested in the parts between the boss. Like, obviously I wanted to get to the next boss, but I didn't find myself being pissed off or anything. So I think I'm gonna put this at S as well. Dishonored. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I just realized I forgot to put DMC Devil May Cry on there. Sorry about that, guys. This is really, really fucked up. I forgot to put DMC Devil May Cry in the actual, like, oh no, oh my god, I'm so stupid. Well, okay, whatever. We have two DMC Devil May Cries. I'm just not gonna rank that second one. I didn't see it immediately, so I didn't think it was even there. So Dishonored 1 was really phenomenal. It was a recommendation to me by a friend. The only thing I have written down about this game is they made stealth fun. And honestly, yeah, that just goes to show how fucking great that game is. There's just so much fun stuff that you can pull with just the sheer amount of tools that they give you in the game. I want to put it right below 2E. An A, because it wasn't like quite an S tier experience. I really liked it, but it wasn't quite there in S. It's really funny how the only thing I can say about this game is they made stealth fun. And that is the most impressive thing I can ever say about a game. So next game, DMC Devil May Cry. Oh my god, this game is atrocious. I guess the gameplay isn't fully shit, but it feels like baby's first Devil May Cry game. And they tried... It feels like they wrote Dante, the protagonist, like it feels like they wrote the game as a whole, with like, as like, it feels like they just wrote the game as a whole about like what you think Devil May Cry is like in your head. Like this like really edgy, grungy experience with like demons and like gross shit, you know. It's not that. and just like the way that they kind of like, I've seen that they marketed the game. They really did make it seem like they really did try to make it seem like they know what Devil May Cry is. They know what Dante is. Oh my god, they gave Virgil a fucking fedora. Oh no. It's so bad. Hang on, let me see if I have anything written down about this one. Oh my god, I wanted to stop playing this game after the first couple missions. It actually, it wasn't that the gameplay was fully terrible. It's just that it did everything about it, other than the mediocre gameplay, made me so fucking mad. The only reason I like was not like a 1 out of 10 or a 0 out of 10 is it's because it had 2 redeeming qualities. I forgot what the redeeming qualities were. I'm gonna be real. I don't even. This game was fucking awful. It's gonna go into games of all time. So Sonic Adventure 1. This one was really fun. I like this one. What did I give this one? SA1. Very good platformer. I kind of have a little goof written down for this one, but Sonic never had a smooth transition to 3D. Shut the fuck up. It feels like I can't really say that much more about it, other than it's a very good platformer. It's very fun. It's probably my 2nd or 3rd favorite Sonic game. There's not much more I can say about it. It's just really good Sonic game. So I'm gonna throw that 2nd place in A tier. Next up, Fatal Frame 2. Now I'm a little bitch baby when it comes to horror games. Fatal Frame 2 was the technical 3rd horror game. No, 4th. I don't play horror at all. I only got into horror because a friend recommended me RE2, the remake, which definitely feels like a good entry into like a horror genre. But holy shit, I was such a pussy. If I can find a clip or something, I'll show it, but I'll probably edit some clips in here and there. Maybe I'll edit in like a clip of the game the moment I transition into the next one. Oh, I forgot to mention something about DMC Devil May Cry. So on stream, twitch.tv/OhioSR, I had a little bit going, where we put the writer's name in the top right corner, and anytime that there was a garbage line, we made it a little bit bigger. And if I can find a picture of it, I probably can. It's probably not. Actually, no, I still have the lot to upload it on my YouTube channel. Um, yeah, if I can find it, I'll put it up. It was really funny. All right, back to Fatal Frame 2. This was like, yeah, this was like my fourth horror game. Very good experience. I guess I really only had a few issues with it. It's probably gonna go in A. It was a really good game. Solid story. I was really interested in the story, which is an interesting thing. Fatal Frame 2, yeah. What I have written down about this is that it had a really good atmosphere, and yes, it was a very good atmospheric experience. Obviously some goofy stuff happened, like actually no, I wouldn't even say goofy stuff, but it was fixed camera. Actually, no. Yeah, no, it's fixed camera angles. I'm really trying to think about the gameplay, because I'm really just, when I picture Fatal Frame 2, I just remember the really solid atmosphere, really nice story, the ghost design. There was one ghost design that really got me. It was this like fallen lady. She fell from the top of the stairs. Her arms were like bent backwards, and she was crawling at you with her arms bent and legs bent every which way, and like it was making all these gross like screaming and like gross noises. It was just really off-putting. If I can find that, I'll probably also put in a clip there. Alright, oh shit. Not the ad. Fuck. Next one up. Guilty Gear Strive. Guilty Gear Strive is a very good fighting game. It's kind of different from most of the games that I put on here. I just played a lot of it, which is why I kind of put it up there. It's a very fun fighting game. Most of the games I put up here kind of had this like a story to it. Actually, honestly, I might move RE2, RE3 down there to see. Most of the games I played kind of had a story to it. I can finish it. Guilty Gear Strive is different since it's a fighting game. I can't. You can't really finish a fighting game. It takes practice. I had a lot of fun playing it. Like, the music is really nice. The gameplay is really smooth. It's pretty easy on the hands. Overall, very fun. I think I'll put it at like bottom of A. The RE2 remake. Very good, very good. Like I said, it was the first horror game I played. Game was very fun. Exploration was fun. There was this one part that really got me. I had to. I pussied. I pussied out. Stayed in a safe room for like an hour on stream, and then I got the I don't know. The game just really got to me. I stayed in the safe room for an hour because I realized that there was this like presence walk. It was like it's a really wild scene. Like I don't think I'll ever really forget it. I was walking up, like a helicopter crashed into the wall, and you gotta do this puzzle, do this water puzzle to put out the fire, so that you can kind of get past the helicopter. So you do the puzzle, you walk up to the helicopter, this massive fucking dude picks it up, just moves it out of the way like it's nothing. And then he starts chasing you. I will never ever forget. I was playing this game with a friend in VC. The first question I asked was, "What do I do about this guy?" And then their only response was, "Run." I have never been more terrified in my fucking life. That's a lie, but Uh, God, those words "run," they just filled me with just fear. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Like I said, I had to stay in a safe room for an hour just and came out when I felt fucking safe. Ooh, Klonoa. I played this game from another recommendation from a friend. Um, Very solid platformer. I didn't really like it. I'm gonna be real, but it's just that a lot of 2D platformers just aren't for me, with the exception of like Sonic, Celeste, stuff like that. Uh, it just really didn't feel like. I don't know. It's kind of hard to put in words. It felt like some of the design in the game was bad. See, I wouldn't even say bad. It's just that it's a skill issue, honestly. It's just that from the way that I play platformers, I like to really think on my feet, move. It's why I like Celeste and Sonic a lot, because you gotta think on your feet. It's fast paced. You're doing a lot of shit. With Klonoa, I had to really move slow and methodical, and my brain does not work like that. I cannot do that. So I'm gonna put it at B tier. Through no real fault of the game. It's a good game. It just wasn't for me. Still had fun with it. Still in B tier. I think that's a solid ranking. I definitely had a lot more fun with it than Persona Q2 and the RE3 remake. Okay. Ooh. This one. Neo: The World Ends With You. Sequel to The World Ends With You. Fucking amazing game. I think it was my favorite game I played this year. And that is no joke. Um, there was like a couple moments where kind of like was like kind of like it was a little iffy, but it never actually hurt the core of the game and why I loved it so much. The writing, it feels like something that I should hate. It feels like something I should fucking despise. But I don't know. There's something so charming about it. It just feels like it's just really like it uses like these like hip words and shit like that. But like it feels like it flows weirdly well in conversation. I don't like it. It feels like something I should hate, but I fucking love it. All the characters were just really fun. There's some returning people from the first game. They were all really well done. I like to see the way that their kind of characters developed and how they're doing right now. And the original characters were great too. Specifically the protagonist. The protagonist was like my second favorite character in the game, maybe third. That's really impressive because it's kind of hard to make a really good protagonist. Mostly because you're kind of it is hard to make a solid protagonist. So I feel like it's much easier to design the characters around the protagonist rather than to design a good protagonist. I really liked Rindo, the protagonist. He had a really good dynamic with one of the characters. I won't spoil much about it, in the hopes that any rando watching this video, or someone who just hasn't seen this series would want to go and play it sometime, because it is a really good game. The OST was fucking amazing. World is yours. Breaking Free. Your Ocean. All like probably in my top 10 Transformation Neomix. Probably all in my top 10 gaming, like just game songs in general. I like the characters a shit ton. I can just gush over this game for forever, but I don't think you want to hear that. So this is just gonna go at the top of S for me. Nier Automata. The only thing I have written down about this is I cried like a little bitch at the end. Um, and yeah, that I really did. The ending got me. There's something about the ending that really, it's frankly, I'd weirdly describe it as almost beautiful in a way. Um, I don't want to spoil too much about it. Credit scene was moving. I my only regret about this game is that I never got to fully experience everything in it. Mostly because I was too enthralled with the main story to go and do the side quests, which are also really good world building. And I only found that out because my friend told me. But Nier Automata, fucking amazing game, even if I didn't experience all of it. All the characters were really good. 2B, I know, A2 was really good. And just everything about that game was there's just something so great about it. I don't know. It's awesome. I'll probably put it below Grace Attorney 2, but above Dark Souls 3, and it'll probably stay there. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, I'm just going to be ranking the story, even though I also played a lot of the fighting game aspect of it, but I'm just going to be ranking the story because I really only play Persona games for the story. The story was very good. I'm ranking this... I really wish I wrote down a bit more about this, so I don't have to talk about the... I have something to base what I'm saying off of, but the only thing I wrote down about this was Labris :D. To be fair, Labris is a very good character. She's a very good original character for this experience. The story was just really good. There was just this one fucking part, man. Actually, no, two parts of this fucking game that got so fucking upsetting. I never expected a fighting game to make me cry the way that Persona 4 Arena did. But man, like, it was really good. Persona 4 Arena, it was really weirdly paced. It had its issues, definitely. Story was still really good. Ultimax, on the other hand, I think it was paced a lot better. The story was a lot bigger. It was a lot more linear, so you kind of had like a clear idea of when was going on, like when something happens in the story, or like what's going on. It's a very linear path. I loved a lot about it. It'll probably go second. Actually, no. Yeah, it'll probably go second in age, but the story is really good. Persona Q. Persona Q 1. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but there's one part about in this game that really made you cry, or nearly cry. Correction. There's something so interesting about the message to this game. I won't spoil it, because there might be someone out there who's still playing through the game or hasn't played through the games at all. But like, there's something so good about it, you know? There's definitely this one part of the game, I think it was Labyrinth 3, where I fucking lost my mind for a bit. Luckily, the game picked up again. Story never really dipped, but there's something about the enemy types that were in that one labyrinth was really fucking insanely just a weird difficulty spike. I guess I actually guessed the plot twist to this game. I won't say what I guessed, but I did guess the plot twist of this game, and I gotta say, I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back for this one, because honestly, the game doesn't flat out make it obvious what the twist will be. But it leaves behind these breadcrumbs where you really can make a good educated guess on what's gonna happen. But it never makes itself obvious Um, I really liked it. The characters were definitely done a lot better than in Q2. There are definitely some characters that were reduced to just stereotypes of their own characters. Um, as I said, but still, like it. I'm not gonna excuse it for saying it's a silly, goofy spinoff, but it's a silly, goofy spinoff. But still, even though the the characters were still goofier than their main series counterparts, they had a lot of moments where just the characters just shine through. I don't know. Shadow the Hedgehog. Uh, move on to that. This one's really hard to rank. What did I have written down for this? First of all, what did I rank it? Or what was the numbering that I get? 6.5 out of 10. And the only note that I have for it is, where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald? I don't know. It feels like this game is not a piece of shit, contrary to what a lot of people say about it. It's not a piece of shit. It's definitely not the greatest game of all time. Definitely not the greatest Sonic game of all time. But it's definitely a fine experience. Soundtrack is good, as most Sonic games are. I don't know. I guess I can't really say that much about it. It'll probably go at bottom of C, but still, very good game. Let me throw that bottom of C. Devil May Cry 5. The only note that I have for this one is the lyrics to Devil Trigger, and God, that really sums up my experience with the game. I had Devil Trigger, which is, in my opinion, best song in the game. Bury the Light is very close, but I love Devil Trigger a lot. The combat was very fluid, very smooth. It was very fun. Virgil as a fucking final boss was probably the most phenomenal final boss in a game. That's kind of hard to gauge, but it's definitely up there. Even if there's like times where like I can definitely say that, oh, this final boss was better, or it's definitely up there. And despite all the big claims I can make about it, it's up there. Combat was fluid. I already said that. Shit. Nero's a good protagonist. I know a lot of people didn't like him for DMC4, and I know that DMC5 turned a lot of people around on him. DMC5 was my first introduction to that character. He was good. Voiced by Johnny Young Bosch. I like that dude's voice. He can voice a character, certainly. There's just a lot to really enjoy about this game for me. I touched on this a little bit. Just the soundtrack is very good. All the vocal themes, very good. Other than that, can't really say that much about it. Other than it's extremely good. I'll probably put it behind Nier Automata, above Dark Souls 3. That's where it's going to be. Sonic Forces. Oh boy. This is certainly a video game that you can play. Alright. That is Sonic 3. Okay. Sonic 3. What do I have written down here? It's definitely the best. They nailed the 2D games for this one. Something so fun about it. I don't know. It was just really solid platforming experience. I'll probably put it very bottom of S. Very bottom. Fucking really good game. Just the gameplay was just really fun. I don't know. It's hard to really say. Um, Sonic Adventure 2. Now this game, I know a lot of people love this shit. Um, which will probably let a lot of people down when I say I really didn't like this game. It was a heavy disappointment. Um, I don't know. I just feel like I built this version up of the game in my mind from a lot of the hype I see generated around it online and shit like that, where it's just like this. It's peak of Sonic. It's really good. I think it controls like dog shit. Especially in comparison when you compare it to SA1. It controls like garbage, and I mean that. And there's only like a few good stages in the game. Um, and that's Sonic and Shadow stages. None of the other characters are fun to play. Um, there's a lot of fans of this game. A lot of people defend it to the death. I really didn't like it. Really didn't like it, not at all. I'll probably put it top of C, but is it, I didn't like it at I didn't like it very much, but still it's still a fine experience, especially in comparison to the other ones in that category of, of tiers. Next one, Sonic 06. Now this game, it it pains me to say, I could see a lot of potential in this one. A lot of it. I can see a good game behind all the garbage. And that's really the most disappointing thing I can say about a game. Um, uh, it just feels like it needed a lot more time in the oven and a lot more of a smooth development road, because I know a lot of it was sidetracked by Sonic and the Secret Rings, which is another really shit Sonic game. I know that. I'm not playing that one. Um, I played Black Knight because that one interested me, but Secret Rings does not interest me in the slightest. I definitely don't feel like playing it. Maybe I'll get around to it. Who knows? But I'm not feeling it. Sonic 06. It's such a bad experience. There's just something so insane about this game. It's such a bad experience that, in my opinion, it loops back around to being somewhat enjoyable. Now, that doesn't mean I will put it at C tier. I will still put it at D because, objectively, it is a bad experience. Like, it's not a good game at all. It made me mad in a lot of places, and it's just really poorly designed. It doesn't control well. There's a lot of issues with it. There's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of shit they fucked up really badly. This was the last time that we got multiple playable characters as Sonic's friends. Hopefully we will see that in Frontiers again. It just kind of dawned on me. We will see that in Frontiers again. For the first time in a long time, actually. And that is amazing to see. Alright. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. So the whole joke, the whole bit, the whole goof, the gaff of this game is that it is just a re-release of the original game, in that it's just a shameless cash grab. But boy, I can tell you that is further from the truth with how they frame the bit in the game. There is so much added here, and there's so much good humor that I remembered the old game pretty fondly from when I was watching YouTubers I like at the time play it. But I remember it very fondly. Way more than just a re-release. It really has really good humor to it. It made me laugh so hard a few times, especially base thing that they did They they reference Persona 3, which is fucking awesome. They called Persona 3 a good game, which honestly, based writers, for real. Um, uh, there's just so many good bits in this game. I love it. I'll definitely put it in S tier. It'll probably be above Sonic 3, but below RE2. This just kind of goes to show how genuinely really good all the games on this list and this tier are. It's kind of hard to order them, except for the fact that I know Neo and the Greatest Attorney 2 are at the very top, very tippy top. Sonic CD. This is definitely better. Sonic 1. I do think it's. Man, did I? Before I say this, did I actually rank it better than Sonic 2? Yes, I did. I do think it's better than Sonic 2. I really like the exploration of this game. I liked the gimmick. Stages were really big, which a lot of people see as a downside, but I feel like the big stages served the gimmick well. I definitely liked it better than playing Sonic 2. It was very interesting platformer experience, especially the Sonic series. Yeah, I think I'll just toss that in. Probably above GG's Drive. Great Ace Attorney. Is it? Yeah, that's the first game. I just wanted to make sure I didn't get those two mixed up. Great Ace Attorney 1. It had a lot of good moments. And it was still a really good game. I remember I played it. I fucking loved it by the end of it. And I was really excited to get on to the second one. I was thinking, how could they improve on this? They sure fucking did. They sure improved on it with the second one. And honestly, that makes me rate the first game lower. Just a little bit. But it puts it in A tier. Just because of how good the second one is in comparison. It's definitely a sequel. It's a direct sequel to the first one. But just by how good it was in comparison, it's really hard to rate this one. Because it definitely feels like a lot of setup to the second game. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it'll probably be second in A. There. RE1. Now this was a super good fixed camera angle horror game. Was my third Resident Evil, I think, unless I'm misremembering the order that I played these in. It was very good experience. Definitely a lot of walking around, definitely a lot of exploration. I really like the setting of it. There's something so creepy about the manor. Like, I feel like anything could jump out at you at any moment. Really, it proved true most of the time. A lot of shit that really got me, really scared me. Yeah, overall, just a really good horror experience. I'll probably put it below SC2, above Dishonored. That's probably where it's gonna be. Sonic 2. This will probably be going bottom of A. Super good 2D platformer. Definitely better than the first one. Way better than the first one. I like CD a bit more, so that's gonna go above it. But there was a lot of good things. It's kind of hard to put why I like these, specifically the Sonic 2D platformers a lot into words, but I do like it a lot. Even though I can't really enunciate why. I like them a lot. Yeah, it's just really good experiences. Definitely, like I said, Sonic 2, way better than the first one. Sonic CD is more fun in my opinion, and Sonic 3 is where they perfected the 2D formula in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what more I could say. It was just very good. TMNG Shredder's Revenge. Now this one was very good. It was just a fun beat 'em up. I never really played beat 'em ups. I was never one to play beat 'em ups. Once again, recommendation from a friend. Hell, most of these are. Grace Attorney is. Nier Automata is. Devil May Cry 5 kind of is. RE2 is. Sonic. Every Sonic game that you see on here is a recommendation. Fatal Frame 2 was. Roku Rising kind of was. Klonoa was. Yeah. I'm gonna say I won't say that DMC Devil May Cry was. That kind of puts down my friend. He didn't really recommend it. He recommended me the series and told me about it, and I was like, I want to play that. He didn't stop me. Why did he not stop me? Why did he not stop? You know who you fucking are. Why didn't you stop me? Why didn't you fucking stop me from playing that game? The TMNT Shredder's Revenge. This was a very good beat 'em up. I don't know. What more can I say? Very fun co-op experience. I had a lot of fun playing with my friend. Probably just need to top of B tier because I don't think I actually loved it that much. It was just a pleasant experience. There's not much more I can say about the game. All right. So, Sonic and the Black Knight. I don't fucking know. Like I said, it's definitely a lot less shit. It's definitely better than Sonic 06. And probably if I ever did end up playing Secret Rings, probably going to be way better than Secret Rings. Yeah, no, this one's kind of hard to rank. Today, please tell me I wrote something down about this. Don't tell me I forgot to. I totally forgot to write something down about this. Great. Actually, that makes sense because I completely forgot that I even played this game this year to begin with. Which is not indicative that it's a bad game, mind you. I just completely forgot. It slipped my mind totally. This is something good about this game. You know, definitely a lot less. The concept of Sonic wielding a sword is a lot less wacky than a lot of people would probably put in their mind. Because like Sonic sword benefits getting in close quarters. What else could get in close quarters? Something that's really fast. Sonic can get easy close quarters combat. Hell, you see him buzz to people to get close quarter combat all the time. So honestly, like I don't see anything wrong with him using a sword. I'm gonna be real. The story was really solid. Music was probably one of my favorite Sonic OSTs in general. Gameplay, it's a Wii game. And I was playing it on the Xbox controller emulated, so I'll give it some slack there. But it's probably gonna be second in B. And Devil May Cry DMC is going in games of all time again because it's really that good. That's gonna be it's probably gonna be that's gonna be it for my tier list. I think I'm good with the ordering. Roughly, this is gonna be where if you ask me which game I like more, that or that, this will probably be the order I would give you in. Like, if you ask me, is RE3 better than Shadow the Hedgehog? I'm like, fuck yeah. There's definitely a lot of weird ones where I think I like Persona Q2 and RE3 the exact same amount, which is pretty sad. Alright, yeah, I think that's gonna be very finalized. I have no idea what else I can say. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope I can end up playing a lot more game experiences. It's gonna be hard to find a lot of good ones. that I, it feels like I got to experience a lot of new shit this year, which I'm very glad about. I'm always really looking to expand my horizons with what I'm willing to play, which is why you see me get into play a lot of Sonic, get into horror games, played The World Ends With You, which is a series that I was kind of looking to get into for a while, but never really felt the urge to buy. It was only when Neo came to Steam where I was like, hell, I've been wanting to play this game. Hang on. Let me look at what probably my earliest talk about this game is. It's going to be sometime early 21, maybe late 21. One I can really think of. Let me find out. We've been talking a lot about TUI. Yeah. January of 20. No, okay, no, never mind. January of 2022, not 2021. The earliest conversation I could possibly find, if I wanted to dig a bit deeper, would probably be like around the time when the game released, when my friend was playing it. The game was so fucking good that I personally thank them for getting me interested in the series. It's really funny. I don't really do that much. Yeah, I mean, I'm really glad that I got to really try a lot of new things. I got into fighting games, like I got into hack and slashes. I got try to beat 'em up. Don't usually do that. Tried horror. Tried platformers. I don't really play a lot of platformers normally. I don't know. I'm really glad that I got to experience all these amazing experiences that were put together by other people. I like video games. They're very fun. Happy New Year's, everyone. I guess that's a bunch of weird things that only exist in Japan. Just judging by that. Oh, can't see the ad. Okay, well. I'm talking about the ad in the top left. Anyway, Happy New Year's, guys. Still see the Christmas tree set up behind me. And Happy New Year. And I hope 2023 treats you guys all well. Goodbye, everyone. Alright, this is Max. A little bit in the future. After really sitting around and somebody pointed it out to me, I completely forgot to rank SMT3. SMT3. I had a lot of fun with this RPG. I don't know how I completely went over my head. I didn't even make a note about this one either. Same with Black Knight. Yeah, I don't know how I forgot about this one. It was so recent. I don't know. Fun RPG is one of. I think it was the first time I've kind of branched down to like wider Atlas. I don't know. It had Dante from Devil May Cry in it, which was cool. That was great. Oh, I loved all the parts of that game. Something very threatening about Dante from Devil May Cry running at you in an RPG. I don't know why. I think I'd put it. I think I'd put it above SA1, below P40. This one's kind of hard to gauge. I already had this kind of like clear idea in my head where I want to put things. I kind of want to keep it this way mostly. So I don't know where I really want to shove it. And I don't even have a clear rating. It's probably like an 8, 8.5. Probably good in here. I think I'd like better than the RE1 remake. I did play the remake, by the way. Alright. That's just all that's a quick addendum I wanted to put out because I completely
fucking forgot about that game. I don't know how I did that. Alright, goodbye. Happy New Year for real, guys. Goodbye.